I didn't realise until I bought this magazine, but it's been 40 years since the release of the ZX Spectrum. So I'm going to do a video, and I'm sure a few other people do videos too. This is the one I have. This is a ZX Spectrum Plus 128K, and that came somewhere in the middle of all of the models of computers. So a very quick rundown of all of the machines that was released. So first of all, there was the first release that came in 16K and 48K models, which is that little iconic machine. They were very small and very cheap for the time. And then Sinclair put them in a different case, and they released the Sinclair Plus, which is still a 48K machine, but with a slightly better keyboard. Then I think next came the Sinclair QL, which is not a Sinclair Spectrum, which is not a ZX Spectrum computer, but it was Sinclair's next machine in line. And after the QL, in 1986, they released this one, which is the one that I have. And shortly after that, they sold their business to Amstrad. So we've got some new models that were released by Amstrad. I don't know off the top of my head, but there was the grey one with the tape deck built in, the Plus 2, and there was one with a floppy disk drive attached to the side of it, and which is probably the Plus 3. So here's one of the games, and it will say that it's for Spectrum 48, 128, Plus 2 and Plus 3. So a lot of games that were released after about 1983, something like that, are compatible with most of the machines. Those poor early 16K models quickly become obsolete, but any other model of Spectrum that you had from the 48K upwards was compatible with the vast majority of the games. So this model that I have, and anything newer than this, all have 128K, and they all have proper sound chips as well. So really, these are the models that you want. I like the one that I have, but it's not the most practical machine to own. And the reason being is that you have to plug in a separate tape player to load up any software for these machines. And it's missing a power switch, and it's also missing a joystick port. So what I have here is one of the interfaces. So that's handy. I can add a joystick port, and it also adds a cartridge port. They are very, very niche, but there are actually some games that are on cartridge. So that's an option if you have one of these things. Unfortunately, I don't think this game is compatible with my Spectrum because it just doesn't work. And there are a few compatibility issues actually, which I will go into. So for the next couple of videos, I am going to play 2 or 3 of the games that I have. I don't have a huge amount of software because I haven't had this machine for very long, but I do have enough games to show off that despite its age, a lot of Spectrum games are still very good games. So I'll see you in the next video.